We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Ready? Check, 41. Hey, defense, let's go.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
11. 22 jet bomber. Check.
From the 27, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the 44-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 39.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Garoppolo on first down. They set up the screen for Henry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Like 20. Pick it up. 65. Tight right. Even. 4 down. Even. 26 Mike. Man out.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
Right. Back to football. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air. And that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Now this time, Manning will throw. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Number 53. Mike 53.
Manning to throw on 3rd and 1. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
21.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
21.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. They come out here in the eye. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on third and goal. Here's Henry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up.
Hey, exit.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down.
Check it out.
To throw, it's Manning. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now Landry. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10.
65.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Titans are able to extend their lead. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Extra point put through by Suckup. And that makes our score 17-0. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go.
On play action, it's Manning. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Manning. He's got Harrison left side complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Manning again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Manning to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not got too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing is Manning. Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 21. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Manning. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll give to Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 23 yards the pickup there. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing now is Manning. That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
2nd down and goal. Manning, and he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
12, fellas, here we go. 13.
Derrick Henry. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
All day, dog. 12, fellas, here we go. 5. 41's the mic. I'm not ready. Mike 41.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts' 44-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Here we go. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Again, it's Henry. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively was Matthias Farley to knock it away.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, and this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down, it's Henry, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Nashville, it's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it again with Henry. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Watch the curl, watch the curl. I got you. Moving, he's moving, boys, he's moving. Mike 41, he's got a wedge there now. Let's go, G.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. Gotta do better.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Come on, QB, come on.
At the Colts 20.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The Colts take over 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 30-yard line.
Cut.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Here we go. 30 base. Check 41. Focus, defense, focus.
Shotgun now for Manning. Funches has it complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let them bleed the game out that way.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Ready,
so after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 20, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Mike, what's the curl?
They'll run with Elliott. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Operating from the gun, Manning, and he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. 15
yards on the play, 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards. So make it 2nd and 5. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Here we go. 180. You tighten up. Let's go. You tighten up. Hey, gun.
Garoppolo to throw. He'll get this one complete to Davis. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
It's a gain of 2.
Here we go. 180. Championship, baby.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Hey, Duncan. 53 is the mic. Hey, get it.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 16 yards, a first down.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Kill, turn up. General West. 53's mine. Check, 53's mine. I'm here all day.
Back to throw. That'll be caught by Rodgers. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And some room to maneuver. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Manning to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Shrugs him off. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Second and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10.
You got three.
To throw is Garoppolo. They're going deep here for Taylor. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking on the midfield logo. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line.
Got it. 2. You must be dreaming. Watch out. Tight up.
From the shotgun again to Elliott. And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. Go. 5.
First throw of overtime here for Manning. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Landry now on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense did its job. Got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2.
Here we go. Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check nickel.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 49-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
3 down. Joe, 21. I got you. 26, Mike. I'm scared. Check three.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Take 11.
What can Garoppolo do now with his drive? And he's got a man, Corey Davis. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Don't get nervous. Kill. Shift.
They'll keep it on the ground. Henry, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Pierre Desir in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Slack 80. Hey, gun. Motion out of the backfield. 26, Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
On 3rd down, Henry. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. So some pressure now on the kicker, Ryan Succop. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Tennessee, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.